Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com. This is the chart for the new moon, 2nd of October 2024, set for London in the UK. It is a full solar eclipse. Eclipses of the sun only happen twice a year. The last time was in April. It's a full solar eclipse, and by that I mean that the nodes of the moon, here's the south node, is the sun and moon are very close in 4 degrees. And here's Mercury as well. And we've just had the sun, or rather Mercury, joining the sun. So messages that we receive at this time are very, very important. Now, if you have a planet close to this degree, 10 degrees, either side, that can be 3 degrees either side, you might be feeling this already because of that build-up of the Sun conjunct Mercury. Mercury is now an evening star, which means it's like the psychopomp, and it is integrating information that it has received since it was ahead of the Sun as a scout. However, what is an eclipse all about? It's all about a shift or a portal. Some people call it a portal opening. And this eclipse is about relationships. The south node is the past, the north node, the destiny or the future, and that's in Aries. It's always opposite. So we are the relationship dynamic of Aries and Libra. Aries is governed by the sun. Naturally, it loves the sunshine, the sun, and it's Mars energy. Libra is governed by Venus, all about relationships. So here, I say Aries is the sun. It's like me. It's all about me, what I want. And Libra is all about seeing the opposite, getting the balance right. Diplomacy is key for Libra. We have, at this time, a very intriguing connection of planets. First of all, we have a grand trine. Here's Saturn in Pisces, Mars in Cancer, and Venus in Scorpio. That is a grand trine in the emotional signs of Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And emotional depth is a key word for a grand trine in water signs. Intuition, creativity, spirituality, emotional healing is promised. But there can be oversensitivity. There can be escapism, not wanting to acknowledge realities. Saturn is the planet of reality. So therefore, it's rather encouraging, in my view, that Saturn is involved here. We have also outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, all working well together. That's quite unusual. You often get one, but not 3 of them. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, look at the degrees, 29, 28, 26. They are very close. So dramatic occurrences are happening right now, of course, in the world. Big transformations, big shifts of energy. We also have the planet Jupiter, much faster. It takes only 12 years to go through the sign, and Gemini was 12 years ago. So here we have another connection. We have Jupiter in Gemini in an absolutely perfect sextile, that's a flow of energy, to Chiron, the archetype of the wounded healer. Healing wounds, healing old wounds, healing soul stories. It's part of my work that I do is to run trainings, workshops with that content. And only today I chose a difficult card, I did, and then story card, and then I chose a positive card. Because always behind the dark stuff, there is a promise of something positive, a gift. One planet that is creating difficult, well, actually it's 2, but I'll focus on the one that I'm looking at right now. Uranus is in what we call a sesquiquadrate. It's a difficult word to pronounce, and it's a difficult aspect. And here's Uranus, and here it is with the Sun and the Moon and Mercury. And I can see my table here, and it's very close. It's 135 degrees. It's a minor aspect. However, it can create tension, friction, an inner conflict. It can create subtle challenges or frustrated growth. So if you want to make changes right now, that's what Uranus wants, you might be up against some stumbling blocks. So this movement, the sun moves 1 degree a day, will be moving away from that difficult relationship with Uranus. Endings and closings are often to do with the South Node, which is to do with the past, and Pluto, very clearly, right at the end. It's just moved back into Capricorn, but it's right at the end of Capricorn, and that's a long, long cycle. Pluto is about deep, deep transformation. It is. And it began its journey in Capricorn way back in January 2008. It dipped back into Sagittarius, but by the end of that year, it was full on its journey through Capricorn. And we have witnessed establishments, banking, institutions is the word, that have crashed throughout that time. Pluto can do that when it enters the sign. It can clear the way, and it certainly has done that through Capricorn. None of us have lived through Pluto in Aquarius. It briefly went in this year, 2024, but really only briefly. So this is a new world. And next year we will get Neptune changing sign. It will go into Aries. Now that's another long cycle, 165 years Neptune takes to go through the whole of the zodiac. So we are on the verge of something huge. Coming back to the personal planets, Mars involved in this grand trine is positive. However, it is in a difficult relationship. Here's the squares over here I'm looking at. It's making a square, a challenging aspect to both the Moon, the Sun, and Mars. It is. So there's friction going on. However, it's in a really good relationship to Venus. Now, Mars and Venus are the lovers, and they are to do with this karmic access. So being in partnership. And the other very important, I'm looking at Venus in Scorpio. So many people have a planet in Scorpio. Huge numbers of people. You might not think you're a Scorpio, but if you look at your chart, most people born in the last century do have a planet in Scorpio. And notice, I've been noticing in the news, the theme, the very Neptunian theme of scandal. Neptune is connected to scandal. And we've had like one after another. Al-Fayed and Harrods has been the last. So this, underpinning energy that Neptune can bring. And notice, where's Neptune coming down my grid? Another difficult sesquiquadrate with Venus. And it is a square to Jupiter. So it isn't all peaceful and light, because Neptune can be highly creative. It's music, it's art, it's the seventh chakra, the crown chakra. It's all wonderful things, but there's something going on underneath. And it's when we look underneath, and I use the Mayan oracle cards. And one of the keys to that is the wisdom that you can get, the shadow wisdom. That's what Pluto can also bring. I'm offering, at this moment, looking at your chart from the viewpoint of past lives, which is to do with the karmic axis in your chart, along with Saturn as well. It's past lives and ancestral healing. They both combine together. Thank you for watching. Keep calm. It's never a good idea to launch anything on the day of a new moon because the moon is invisible, and that applies 100-fold if it happens to be a solar eclipse. It's the ideal day for meditation, for tuning into nature, going for a walk, doing anything that relaxes you, and just keep cool. The energy will shift very much over the week ahead. Again, thank you for watching. Pam Carruthers of HealingStars.com.